using USB 3.0 to speed up transfer between USB 2.0 devices. I've noticed that transfers between USB 2.0 drives are usually very slow. From what I understand, this is because all USB 2.0 devices connected to the same USB 2.0 host share the same 480 MB/s of bandwidth. Is it possible to speed this up by using USB 3.0, EA connecting both drives to a USB 3.0 controller, like a USB 3.0 express card adapter? In other words, do USB2 devices get the full, unshared bandwidth each on a USB3 host?
According to the USB3 specification from here, USB2 functionality on USB3 hosts/hubs does not change. Therefore, putting power issues aside, USB2 devices still operate with the broadcast method, meaning it will share the same old USB speed bandwidth with all other USB2 devices on the same host/hub. USB2 devices will not have USB3 capacity available to it, as the super speed USB3 capacity is on different wires that are not connected to USB2 devices. Also, keep in mind each USB port may or may not be its own host, depending on the hardware manufacturer. Sometimes they will have one host for each port, and sometimes one host will manage multiple ports. To find out for sure which hosts manage which devices, open up Device Manager, and click View and GT, Devices by Connection. Open up the ACP devices, and then there should be a PCBus device under that. All of the USB host controllers should be under there. Try plugging the devices into different ports and see which host controller it appears in. Sometimes a host controller won't appear until there is something plugged into it. USB3 super speed devices data transfers should work parallel to a USB2 device as it uses a different set of wires, and likely would not conflict or slow down any USB2 devices also working off of the same hub/host aside from maybe a little handshake talk when the device is first plugged in.
The XE specification clearly states that an individual controller may support multiple bus instances, each representing a bandwidth unit, for example 480 MB for high speed. See the second and third paragraphs in section April 6, 2015. The example provided there is one SS plus 2 HS plus 4 LS/FS for 7 distinct bytes of bandwidth divvied up between 8 physical ports. I'd love to know whether any shipping hardware implementations go the extra mile to implement it. I haven't been able to find explicit mention in the documentation for various chipsets. Given that super speed to high speed transaction translators are conspicuously absent from the USB 3 spec, it would seem the best way to support a large complement of bandwidth hungry USB 2 devices.
If you like this class channel, please consider subscribing.